Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, 10.91 season's best. Will she win gold over 100 meters at World Championships 2025? Plus, Tina Clayton talks about her run at the Prefontaine Classic, and Sha'Carri Richardson, well, she lets it all hang out. Welcome back to the channel, people. Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, thank you for making it Peter Lloyd World. Go ahead, please hit the subscribe button so we continue to grow. When you do that, hit the notification bell so you know when the next video drops. To drop a video these once a day in Peter Lloyd World. Also, if you enjoy the content, please hit that like button and finally leave your thoughts. So, ready? Yep. Good to go. Well, Tina Clayton ran fourth in her first race since becoming the Jamaica national champion over the women's 100 meters distance. This she did at the Prefontaine Classic, taking fourth behind Melissa Jefferson, who took first, Julian Alfred, who took second, and Marie-Josie Talou of Cote d'Ivoire, who took third. The Jamaican 100-meter national champion spoke with Real Talk with T. Here's what she had to say.
Hey, Miss Girl.
Hi.
What's going on, national champ?
Everything is okay.
Your perspective on your performance or the race?
It was just the executed race.
Yeah.
It was kind of a bit off, but I can't kill myself.
Yeah.
I think I did great, so
Yeah.
I have to be grateful.
So, do you agree with Tina Clayton? Did she do great? Well, Sha'Carri Richardson, once more at a Prefontaine Classic, ended up running ninth. We saw this happen to her in 2021, if you remember, when she took on Elaine Thompson-Herah, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, and Sha'Carri Jackson. Well, she surprised even me with this one when she ran. As I said, she came ninth. But I must tell you that she did tell us that she was injured. So the race with which both Sha'Carri Richardson, who you'll see in a few minutes, talk, and Tina Clayton are talking about the women's 100 meters, which took place on the weekend at the Prefontaine Classic in Eugene, Oregon, in the United States of America. Here is how that race went.
Jefferson Wooden gets out sharper than Alfred. Richardson gets left a little bit. Clayton trying to get into it, but the Olympic champion just trying to get ahead. But Jefferson Wooden is hanging on at the moment. The American has got it. And look at the time.
So as I said there, Sha'Carri Richardson ended up in the ninth position and ran a time of 11.19, which is actually a season's best for her. Well, she took to social media and talked about her last place finish. Here's what she had to say.
Y'all know normally when I have a race that I don't necessarily like the outcome, I normally don't get on social media. But you know what? The journey that I've been having when it comes to my faith is you can't give the praise wishy-washy or sometimes. You got to give it all the time. You ask for what it is that you want or you think you want, but you receive what it is that you need. So for my journey, this is what I need. I need to remember that it all is part of a process. So, I ain't hiding. I ain't running. Well, I need to be running, but I ain't hiding. So, but y'all, let's go. September. All that matters. Thank y'all for love and support as always. And being my riders. Negativity does not have room here.
Well, people, may not lie, I think her attitude is actually the right attitude. Very, very positive. You know, all of us have our ups and downs. Let me hear your thoughts. What do you think of what Sha'Carri Richardson said about her last place performance in the women's 100 meters at the Prefontaine Classic on the weekend? Well, at the Barbados Grand Prix on the weekend, Jamaica was hoping to finally qualify in the men's 4x100 meters relay, and unfortunately, well, we were not able to achieve that goal. Now, the good news is that we were able to win the men's 4x100 meters relay, but we did not improve our time. So anyway, the team comprised of Boaja Nkrumah, Christopher Taylor to O'Dane McPherson and Kadrian Golson. They won the race in 38.46 seconds, finishing ahead of Barbados, who ran 38.85 seconds. to take second, and Grenada, who came third, in 39.16. However, for us to be qualified to run in the men's 4x100 meters at this year's upcoming World Championships 2025, we would have to be ranked, that 4x100 meter team would have to be ranked in the top 16 fastest teams in the world. And since the time they ran in Barbados was not even as fast as the previous time that was ran at the World Relays, it means that Jamaica is still ranked 18th in the world, and therefore we are not yet qualified. Now, I believe there's at least one more opportunity. So, because people look very, very bizarre for Jamaica not to field a 4x100 meter relay team when we have a Kishane Thompson, an Oblique Seville, and a Akeem Blake. That would just be bizarre. But congratulations to the young men for winning, and let's hope for the best for the next attempt. At the Jamaica National Championships 2025 in the women's 100 meters heat 3, the world's greatest, the greatest of all time, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce won her heat in a time of 11.33 seconds ahead of Carlita Bernard, who ran 11.47, and Kemba Nelson, who ran 11.48. This qualified her eventually through to the finals.
Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce in lane number 4, Kemba Nelson in 5, Carlita Bernard in lane number 3. But look at Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce control this heat.
The greatest of all time, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce. Well, she made it through to her 13th Jamaican team to represent the island in the women's 100 meters individual, which is incredible just to say. Just to say that sounds almost impossible. And of course, the stadium and myself and all of us who are fans of track and field and Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce were very, very happy. She spoke with reporters after her historic 13th team.
Tell me about the execution of the race tonight.
I haven't watched about the race, to be honest. I'm in the moment now, so I can't see, but I didn't see the replay, it didn't come up on the screen. So, I mean, for me, I think there's still room for improvement, and this is a big plus for me to know that, okay, things work 100%, but I did what I needed to do, and I'm on the team, so I give myself a
91?
Yeah.
Now, for context, I have to tell you this. She ran 10:91. She's 38 years of age. And I know that some of you're bewildered because myself and other persons who talk about track and field are constantly referencing her age. 38 in sprint years is like a 95-year-old man. I am not exaggerating. Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce defies science. She defies logic. So this leads to the obvious question. We have seen her do the impossible over and over again. Could she shock us in her final World Championship and walk away with gold?
Introducing Peter Lloyd World merchandise, where style meets comfort. From trendy tees to cozy hoodies, we've got something for everyone. Elevate your wardrobe with our high-quality, fashionable designs that make a statement. Whether you're hitting the streets or chilling at home, Peter Lloyd World has you covered. Shop now and upgrade your look with Peter Lloyd World merchandise. Available exclusively at Peter Lloyd World. Link in description below.
Away they go, as ever Sturrock quickly away, so too Shelly-Ann Fraser. The Jamaican showing ahead of his own compatriot. Jeter is coming now, but Shelly-Ann Fraser is holding on. Shelly-Ann Fraser, but Stewart dips the line. Shelly-Ann.
Now, the race you just witnessed was Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce winning her first gold medal at the World Athletics Championships 2009. In total at World Championships in the women's 100 meters, she has won gold in 2009, 2013, 2015, 2019, the year after she had her son Zion, and 2022. She won silver at World Championships in 2007 and 2023. In the 200 meters, she won gold in 2013 and silver in 2015, which is incredible. Now, we're not even talking about 4x1 relays, etc. We're just talking about straight gold medals. So 5 World Championship gold medals, which begs the question, can she make it 6? This is her winning her 5th gold medal. This, of course, was in 2022.
Watch for Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce getting out well, and she has done. She's bidding for a 5th world title, and she's going to do it. Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce from
Incredible. So, in the finals of the women's 100 meters at Jamaican National Championships, Tina Clayton won in a time of 10.81, with Shericka Jackson taking second in 10.88, and Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce making her 13th national individual team in the women's 100 meters, ran 10.91 at the age of 38, again defying logic and science, which is why we call her the greatest of all time. Watch. Now, as you saw in the first interview that I showed at the beginning of this, she knows that there are things that need to be fixed. In a recent interview with the Jamaica Observer, she said this, quote, "I think for me," meaning Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce speaking, I think there's still room for improvement. And I think this is a big plus for me to know that, okay, things weren't 100%, but I did what I needed to do, and I'm on the team, so I gave myself a fighting chance." A time of 10.91, I'm continuing what she's saying, means I am not race sharp, she admitted. So for me, I'm really excited. It is a long season, and I will go back and put something together and look forward to Tokyo. She said, "I came out here, and one thing I knew I had on my side was experience." Note that, people, that's very important. "I know it is never over until it's over. I'm grateful for that fighting spirit that says that once I step on the line, I'm ready to go." Fraser-Pryce, the great one, continued. She said, "My start hasn't been popping, but that is room to fix. But I never count myself out because I'm always grateful to God for the talent and desire and the sheer grit and determination He has given me." She continues, "A lot of persons would have known that Japan is where I started my first senior championships. So it is such a full circle moment to go back to Japan. I'm just really excited, grateful to put the race together, and just hope for the best." So can Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce shock us and win gold in Tokyo? Well, she'll have to get past a few people. Tina Clayton, who's just getting better. Tia Clayton, if she recovers, she was on fire. Julian Alfred, who is definitely on fire as we speak. Marie-Josie Talou of Cote d'Ivoire, who's always dangerous, and her good friend. Shericka Jackson, who I think will also improve. Melissa Jefferson, who is definitely on fire. Can she pass these young ladies? Now, this, of course, is my 2 cents. Look, if someone has won 5 individual gold medals in the women's 100 meters at World Championships and 2 silver medals, that is not a human being you can ever take lightly. Now, of course, the first and most obvious thing that one has to say is that she is 38 years of age. And you're going to say, "Peter, yeah, you said she's 38, and you also just said that in track and field, that's very, very old." But people, I also said that Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce has defied both science and logic. Jamaica has produced 1 and 2 of these people. You remember Merlin Ottey? Definitely defied science and logic. Ottey was running into her late 40s and making finals at Worlds and Olympics. So that's crazy. So Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, also, we have to remember that her personal best of 10.9 10.60, apologies, her personal best of 10.60, the third fastest 100 meter ever ran by a woman in the history of mankind. She did this at the age of 34, if my memory serves me correctly. That's not exactly, a chicken. So we know that she is capable of defying the odds. Secondarily, in terms of managing her age, the real thing that she has to do is run less races, but keep the what do you call it now? The rust away. And that leads to my second point. So the first point is her being 38 is an issue, but it's really not as big an issue as it possibly should be. Because also at 38, she's not supposed to run 10.91 after running, and this comes into the second point I'm making. Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce has not ran many races since the semi-finals at the Paris Olympic Games. In fact, she never even ran in the semi-finals at the Paris Olympic Games. I think the last race she ran at the Paris Olympic Games was the 4x1 race. She ran the second leg and got injured. So if my memory serves me correctly, she has run maybe 3 races between all of that, 3 or 4 races if we include world relays. So there's a lot of ring rust. And running a relay and running an individual 100 meter, by the way, are unrelated subject matters. So she just said to you that her start, remember she's called Mama Rocket, she's considered the best starter in the game. And she just said her start is not popping. And it's the truth. Her start is not popping. The race she executed at the Jamaican National Championship looked like Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce pre-2019. Because her running style changed completely after about 2019. So the race we are seeing is the younger Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce. And leading into the third point, there are 2 months left to World Championships. And with her degree of experience and the team that she has around her, she knows how to pop that first 60. If Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce is ahead of you by 5 meters or 3 meters, at 60 meters, it is going to be very difficult to catch her. The last couple times she's been at World Championships, she just has not been at her best. Maybe it's the race, maybe it's her age. But I think the fact that Jamaican National Championship was this early, it gives her the opportunity to run enough races to improve on that start. Now, the juxtaposition to that, the challenge to that is that because she's 38, they have to really manage her races. So she can't run a whole heap of race. You're not going to see her run all over the Diamond League. But the fact of the matter is, I think she has enough time. And if she's able to get that first 60, it's going to be a problem. Now, fourth point, well, more like the fifth. I concede that Melissa Jefferson is on fire. That young lady is on fire. Julian Alfred is on fire. With 2 months to go over, anything can happen. They may have peaked too early. I don't get that feeling anyway. I kind of thought that initially, but I don't think so. So I think her major problem really is that she has to find a way around these young ladies. But if she fixes that first 60, she's going to be in the pickle of everything. 10.91 is a solid race after what? Maybe 2? I think she might have ran 2 throughout it. Okay, so the series, meaning the Jamaican National Championship, she ran 3 100 meters. And I think she had ran what? 1 100 meter before that. That's not a lot of races. That's a lot of ring rust. So if she gets over the ring rust, fix that 60, she's going to be a factor. And then there's just the sheer fact that she has the experience. She has won 5 times. She understands the game. And I'm going to also say this other thing. People afraid of her. I'm telling you, when they go up on the line, the Julians, the Tinas, the one of them, when they go on that line and they see her in the race, they all know that she's dangerous and she's going to be a factor. So with the amount of time she has, with the fact that she can correct the mistakes being made in 100 meters as a result of ring rust, not necessarily age, because 10.91 ain't no walk in the park. With her years of experience, with her knowledge of the game, her knowledge of her body, her own body, which I never brought up because she understands her own mechanics more than almost anybody else. Can she win gold? Oh, and I didn't factor in the fact that I know this young lady likes to make a splash and she performs under the big lights. she's going to be dangerous. She is definitely going to be a factor. I will not say she cannot medal. And for that reason, I cannot say she cannot win a gold medal. I believe she has a 50-50 chance. Yep, I'm going to say that. I know some of you are going to laugh at me, but I think she has a 50-50 chance of walking away with the gold medal. It's Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce. She's already defying logic and common sense. And as I said, she's already defying science. So look back at all the points I just made. Yep, it's not impossible. But she would, of course, need to get from a 10.91 down to at least a 10.80, 10.75, because I think that's where the running is going to be, somewhere around there. It could even be faster. So this one is up for grabs, meaning this 100 meters, there is no clear person to look at. Maybe Melissa Jefferson at this point, but I don't think Alfred is at her best. I don't think Shericka Jackson is at her best. I don't think Tina Clayton is at her best. Talou is not at her best. Talou Smith, is not at her best. So do I think Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce could surprise us and win the 100 meters gold at World Championships? Yes. Yeah. But this, of course, is my 2 cents. I'd absolutely love to hear your thoughts. Now, don't forget to support the channel. Check out our merch store at printify.com. I will leave a link in the description below. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button, notification bell, and hit the like button. Let me know what you think. Do you think Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce could surprise everyone and walk away with the gold in her final World Championships, making it 6 gold medals at World Championships? You are royals, kings and queens. Bless up.